वदतु महोदय, राजश्री महोदय, किमपि व्रत।
सहना भवतु, सहनौ भुनक्तु, सह वीर्यं करवावहै, तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांतिः।
तो प्रार्थनातः इदानीम् आरम्भं कुर्मः। इदानीम् अस्माकं वर्गे गतवर्गे किं कृतवन्तः, किं पठितवन्तः इति कोऽपि वक्तुं शक्नोति वा? राजश्री महोदय, माधवी महोदय, भवती दृष्टवती वा चलचित्रं?
चलचित्रं
दृष्टवती? चिन्ता नास्ति, वदतु। विशेषणविशेषभावः, तस्मात् एव आरम्भं कृतवन्तः। तत्र एव परिचयाः पाठान् आरम्भं भवति खलु। तो तत्र विशेष्य विशेषणभावः इत्युक्ते किं, विशेष्यं किं, विशेषणं किं, विशेष्यम् इत्युक्ते किं? गायत्री महोदय, भवती जानाति खलु वा? भवती वदति वा? चिन्ता नास्ति। विजय महोदय, भवान् वदतु, विशेष्यम् इत्युक्ते किं, विशेषणम् इत्युक्ते किम्? भवान् म्यूट् मध्ये अस्ति।
Visheshya means something, the quality that you are talking about.
Visheshanam.
Visheshya is describing that subject or person.
That person or that subject is the Visheshyam. So you think about it, when we think in Tamil also, yadadu Visheshyam irkan. Are you Tamil?
Yes.
Okay. So the news, the main subject, right? That is Visheshyam. Yes. Visheshanam, yadadu Visheshanama irka, that is anything different about it, the gunas.
Yes.
Tadeva asti khalu tatra. So Visheshanam ityukte guna tadrisham asti. Somehow you are pointing to some Visheshyam and saying that is that Visheshyam that I am talking about.
Yes.
कथं सूचनां कर्तुं कथं सूचयितुं शक्नुमः, तदेव अस्ति विशेषणं। विशेष्यम् इस् आर् लैक् बालकः, नो चेत् महिला, वृक्षः, तादृशं। So when we want to ask what sort of बालकः, कीदृशः बालकः। महोदय, विजय महोदय, अहं कोऽपि बालकः अस्ति, कीदृशः बालकः भवितुं शक्नोति तादृशम्? Anything. What type of बालकः?
Well mannered boy.
Well mannered इत्युक्ते तत्र इदानीं न जानीमः। यदि सम्यक् द्रष्टुं सम्यक् अस्ति चेत् कथं वदामः? सुन्दरः बालकः, सुन्दरः बालकः। तादृशमेव यदि महिला अस्ति, तो गायत्री महोदय कथं वदामः? महिला नार्मल् वदतु, पुनः वदतु। सुन्दरी महिला, सम्यक्, सुन्दरी महिला। अनन्तरं यदि एकं फलम् अस्ति, तत्तु बहु खादितुं बहु सम्यक् अस्ति, तु राजश्री महोदय कथं वदामः? मधुराणि फलं वा? एकमेव फलमस्ति, सारी मधुरं फलं। सारी नास्ति, मधुरं फलम्। इदानीं मधुराणि सन्ति चेत् कथं वदामः? मधुराणि फलानि। सम्यक्, Madhurani Phalani. There's usually a rhyming that happens. Sometimes when the anta is different, then the rhyming doesn't happen. So we're going to talk about padantas today. Tu tadeva asti. Chamyatam mama grihe kinchit kolahalam asti idanim. Shruyate va sarvam? Na shruyate. Samyak. Uttamam. Tu गतकक्षायां केवलं तत्तु विशेष्य विशेषणभावः तदेव वयं पठितवन्तः। अद्य किम् आवश्यकम् इत्युक्ते किञ्चित् अभ्यासम् आवश्यकं। किमर्थं? बेसिक् अण्डर्स्टाण्डिङ्ग् अस्ति खलु, वाट् हौ टु विशेषणं किम् अस्ति, विशेषः कः, विशेषणं किम् इति अण्डर्स्टाण्डिङ्ग्, बेसिक् अण्डर्स्टाण्डिङ्ग् अस्ति। परन्तु यदा मुखतः सुलभतया आगमनीयं चेत् किञ्चित् अभ्यासम् आवश्यकं, तदेव अस्ति, अभ्यासः आवश्यकः। तत्रापि विशेषणविशेषभावः। अभ्यासः पुल्लिङ्गशब्दः अस्ति, अभ्यासः आवश्यकः, इट् इस् नेसेसरी, तदेव। So you see how easy it is to make mistakes. Now, if you don't know the linga of the shabda, it is very easy to make mistakes, but it doesn't matter. You speak, तदेव अस्ति आवश्यकं वदतु केवलं वदतु एकमेव प्रश्नः अस्ति एतस्मिन् वासरे यत् गृहकार्यमस्ति किञ्चित् सुलभमस्ति वा दृष्टवन्तः वा सर्वे
आं महोदय सुलभम् आसीत्
शीघ्रतया कर्तुं शक्तवन्तः वा सर्वे उत्तमं विजय महोदय भवान् अपि
I'm still working on it. I have not completed.
But not as bad as the week before.
No, not at all.
To be honest, the week before, the first 3 weeks, I set the homework. Okay, so I did not know what level to set it at. So, Kshamyatam.
No.
Now I think we understand also that the time constraints are also there, right? It's not just whether it's easy or not. We all have time constraints. So. Giving homework is a different story, but making sure that you are able to finish it within that 1 week is also important. So I think we've come to an understanding of what we need to do, how we need to do it. So hopefully it will be better from now on. Please keep giving us feedback, both about pace of class and homework, because the most important thing is that you learn. So tadeva avashyakam. Idanim aham screen share karoni. Atra prathamataya एकः अभ्यासः अस्ति इदानीं पश्यामः कथं how easy is it for everyone इति एकवारं पश्यामः अहम् आह्वयामि एकमेकम् आह्वयामि भवन्तः सर्वे वदन्तु प्रथमं तु इदानीं पश्यन्तु अत्र केवलं मेलनं करणीयं लेफ्ट् सैड् मध्ये कालम् मध्ये स्तम्भे कानिचन पदानि सन्ति रैट् सैड् दक्षिणतः स्तम्भे तत्र कानिचन पदानि सन्ति परन्तु कुशलायै वृक्षेषु इति सम्यक् न भवति खलु किमर्थम् इत्युक्ते यदि विशेष्यम् अस्ति विशेषणम् अस्ति the visheshyam whatever the vishesyam is the visheshanam has to point to that visheshyam. So remember how we said if we had the vishesyam, if I said balakah asti, I can remove the balakah and leave it as sundarah asti. Hello. But idanim aham vadami balakah asti, aham balakam pashyami. I cannot say aham sundarah pashyami. Tatrapi aham sundaram eva pashyami. Sundaram balakam pashyami. Aham balakena sah gacchami. Aham sundarena balakena sah gacchami. That sundaram and that balakah and sundarah have to go together. If that sundarah does not point to the balakah, I no longer know what that sundarah is for. Hello. So sundaram balakam, sundarena balakena, sundaraya balakaya. Chaturthi vibhakti. Sundaraya balakaya aham phalam dadami. Sundarat balakat aham phalam sवीकरोमि इदानीं. पंचमी विभक्ति अपादानं सुंदरात् बालकात् फलं स्वीकरोमि नो चेत् किंचित महाकायात् सिंहात् अहं किम् अहं I don't know the anybody know the उत्तम पुरुष form of बिभेति प्रीति महोदय जानाति वा न जानाति इदानीं so we need to go to that after bid. Okay, we'll go to बिभेति after that. चिन्ता नास्ति. So इदानीं भीतिः अस्ति मम भीतिः अस्ति तादृशमपि वक्तुं शक्नुमः. So महाकायात् सिंहात् मम भीतिः अस्ति. अनन्तरं षष्ठी विभक्ति चतुरस्य बालकस्य नाम विजयः. अनन्तरं षष्ठी विभक्ति अभवत्. इदानीं सप्तमी विभक्ति चतुरायां बालकायां मम प्रीतिः अस्ति मम विश्वासः अस्ति तादृशं. So तत् सर्वं इदानीं what did we understand? That basically there has to be a handshake. The visheshanam and the visheshyam are both pointing to the same thing. If we are saying, if it is kartrupadam asti chet prathama vibhaktyam dvayamapi, karmapadam asti chet dvayamapi dvitiya vibhaktyam, yadi apadanam asti tu panchami vibhaktyam dvayamapi. Tadrishameva. The visheshanam has to follow the visheshyam in lingam, vachanam and vibhakti. So this match the following when we are doing. That is what we need to do. We need to see that the lingam is the same, the vachanam is the same, and the vibhakti is the same. So when you are reading out the first word on the left column, I want you to tell me what is the lingam, what is the vachanam, and what is the vibhakti. Then I want you to match to the one on the right. So we'll start. Madhvi Mahodaya, bhavati arambham karotu.
Shamyata Mahodaya, ek prashnam. It is balikayam or balakayam?
Kutra?
No, Sundarayam Balakayam. Sundaryam Balakayam.
If it's Sundaryam, that means it is Sundari.
Balakayam, Balikayam.
Balakaha. So Balake.
Sundare Balake.
So let's start with the Vishesham. Vishesham is what? What do you want to say? Is it boy or girl?
No, you are saying, is it Balika or Balika? Balakaha. Which
So
one you are saying, right? Was it Balika?
I might have said it wrong.
No, I'm asking. I was hearing.
Balika.
I might have said it wrong. If it is Balika, okay, if it is Balika, then it is Strilingam. That means it is Sundari Balika. Always go back to Prathama Vibhakti. Sundari Balika, so Sundaryam Balikayam. Please do this. Please catch me. I am not an expert, so I am also learning.
No. I'm asking you. No, I whether I heard wrong or whatever it is. I was
almost
checking.
Guaranteed I did it wrong. No problem. So Sundaryam Balikayam.
No, I wanted to know. That's why I asked you.
Perfect. No. Uttam Samyakanna. Samyakeva etadrisham eva karaniyam. I am also here to learn. So Sundaryam Balikayam, if it is Strilingam. If it is Pullingam, then how do we say it? Say it in Prathama Vibhakti. You only tell me.
Sundare Balake.
Correct. Exactly. Sundare Balake. Sundare Balake mama pritihi asti. No chet Sundaryam Balikayam mama pritihi asti. Dhanyavadaha. Please don't worry. I want people to correct me. That's what I'm telling you. Because yada sambhashanam kurmaha, mama api abhyasam nasti. Mama sambhashane api, I'm not very used to speaking in Sanskritam. Grihe tu Tamil madhye bhashanam karomi nochet kevalam idanim yada kakshayam agachami tatsamayameva aham sanskritena vadami. Ataha mama sambhashana samarthyam api uttam tadrisham nasti. So, when I say something wrong, we don't want everybody to get confused. Kalu. So, you should pull me up on it. You should pull each other up on it. You should pull yourself up on it. That is how we learn. So, please continue to do that. So, when we do the left side column, please tell me first the lingam, vachanam, lingam kim, vachanam kim, vibhakti ka. Prathamam sarve vad uktva, anantaram puraniyam. Left side, right side, melanam karaniyam. Madhvi Mahodaya bhavati prathamam padam उपयुज्य वदतु.
कुशलायै स्त्रीलिंग चतुर्थी विभक्तिः एकवचनं.
सम्यक्. So इदानीं what is the word that will match it on the right side?
बालिकायै.
सम्यक्. So एकं वाक्यं वक्तुं शक्नोति वा? कुशलायै बालिकायै उपयुज्य.
अध्यापकः कुशलायै बालिकायै पुस्तकानि ददाति.
सम्यक्. बहु सम्यक्. उत्तमम्. अग्रे नेक्स्ट हीना महोदय भवती वदति वा? नेक्स्ट
विशालात्
लिंगम वचनम
विशाला means स्त्री विशाल विशालः is pullinga.
सम्यक्.
It is panchami vibhakti ekvachanam.
Samyak. Uttamam. Now complete match it. Which one will you go with?
Vishalat bhavanat.
Samyak. Vakyam rachayatu.
Vishalat bhavanat aham tishtami. Tatra tishtami.
Vishalat
No, 1 minute.
Outside. Just add one outside. Vishalat bhavanat.
Vishalat bhavanat Sundara udyanam asti.
Vishalat bhavanat bahihi ekam sundaram udyanam asti. Bahu samyak. Uttama. Tatra kevalam bahihi iti avashakam. Bahihi is upapada vibhakti. You have to use panchami with bahihi.
Panchami. Okay.
Bahu samyak. Uttama. Agre नूतनतया कोऽपि हरप्रसाद इति आगतवान्. नमस्ते महोदय, भवान् वदति वा? हरप्रसाद शास्त्री. अग्रिमं पदं जानाति वा किं कुर्मः इति इदानीं?
उन्नतेषु.
Oh, there is a mistake there. It is unnateshu. क्षम्यताम्.
Yeah.
उन्नतेषु
Unnateshu. Unnatam. It is Napumsakalinga.
It could be.
No. Pullinga. Bahuvachana Saptami Vibhakti.
Samyak. But you said Napumsakalinga. That is correct. It could be Napumsakalinga also. But you saw what is on the right and you decided no, it is Pullinga. Correct?
Yeah.
Correct. Uttamam. Complete.
Okay.
Match them.
Teshu. Vruksheshu.
Samyak.
Unnatateshu vruksheshu. Mama gruhataha paraha santi.
Mama grihataha. मम गृहं परितः उन्नताः वृक्षाः सन्ति.
No, what is wrong in saying unnateshu vruksheshu mama gruham param santi?
What are you trying to say? Can you tell me? Because I'm not able to.
Long, big trees are on the side of my house.
So all around. All around.
Can you say, excuse me, please? Paraha means, can I use the word paraha for sides instead of ubayataha?
Paraha, it is paraha purvaha. Paraha means after.
Okay. So that
Paritaha is around.
Yeah. So paraha is after, purvaha is before. So I cannot use paraha when I use this sentence.
No, because paraha is specific to which vibhakti? Panchami. You have to use paraha, param, paraha, purvaha, purvam only with Panchami vibhakti. They are called upapada vibhakti shabdas.
Okay.
So right now, if you want to use paritaha, it is a dvitiya vibhakti shabdah.
Okay.
So you
mama gruham paritaha unnatateshu vruksheshu santi.
So okay. Now you're saying santi. Can I ask you the question? Ke santi?
Vrikshaha.
Santi.
Vrikshaha santi.
So they are in prathama vibhakti. Because the santi is what is there? Vrikshaha santi. But right now we are saying saptami vibhakti. Saptami vibhakti ityukte adhikaranam. Ityukte locative case. So right now what we want to say is unnateshu vriksheshu. In these trees, what is there? What are there?
Oh, I see. Unnateshu vriksheshu phalani santi.
Bahu samyak. Uttamam. Did it make sense?
Yes, it does.
Very good. Uttamam. So that Kshamyatam, there is a spelling mistake there. It is unnateshu. Because it is unnataha vrikshaha, unnataha vrikshaha, unnateshu vriksheshu. So there's a spelling mistake. I'll fix it at the end.
Okay.
Hina Mahodaya bhavataha chinta nasti. Hina Mahodaya bhavataha prashnah asti. Vadatu.
No, I wanted to say that unnateshu vruksheshu bahuva khagaha vasanti.
Samyak. Bahu samyak. Uttamam. Tadapi samyak. Uttamam. Agre gachamah. Vijay Mahodaya bhavanapi asti va idani? Vijay Menon?
Yes.
अस्मि.
वदतु अग्रिमम्.
विचित्रस्य ओके षष्ठी बालकस्य
लिङ्गं विचित्रस्य इत्युक्ते लिङ्गं
विचित्रस्य बालकस्य
पुल्लिङ्गम् एकवचनं विचित्रस्य बालकस्य उत्तमम्. इदानीं विचित्रस्य बालकस्य किमपि वाक्यं रचयतु. So what does it mean when we say vichitrasya balakasya? Strange, some strange or slightly different, unique boy.
Unique boy.
So एकं वाक्यं रचयतु. तस्य नाम किं, नो चेत् तस्य भगिनी अस्ति वा, तादृशं वदतु किमपि. सम्बन्धः अस्ति खलु तत्र. वाक्यं किमपि वाक्यं.
विचित्रस्य बालकस्य
नाम
रामः.
नाम रामः. उत्तमं. विचित्रस्य बालकस्य नाम रामः. उत्तमम्। अग्रे गच्छामः। अग्रे गायत्री महोदय उक्तवती खलु?
Yes, she did.
She did na? Manjusha Mahoday bhavati.
And there.
Did you already have a turn? भवत्याः पर्यायः आगतवत्?
No.
न आगतत्। वदतु अग्रिमं लघुना वदतु।
Laguna. Laguna is Strilinga.
Is it?
No, it is not Strilinga.
Where else have you heard Laguna? Can you think which vibhakti it might be? Laghu. So ukaranta shabdah asti. So can you think of another ukaranta shabdah? Which other ukaranta shabdah?
Guruna.
Very good. Which
Tritiya vibhakti?
Bahu samyak. Tritiya vibhakti vachanam kim?
Tritiya vibhakti ekavachanam.
Samyak.
Pullinga.
Very good. So can you match?
Then
it doesn't have to be pullinga, okay? After Tritiya vibhakti, pullinga and napumsakalinga are the same.
Satnasya nasti, chitram nasti, bhavanat nasti, balikai. No.
Anything else in Tritiya vibhakti on the right?
Laguna. Kandukena?
Samyak. Laguna kandukena.
Laguna kandukena. Then it is napumsakalinga.
Yes. Because napumsakalinga and pullinga after Tritiya vibhakti are the same form.
Yeah, same. Yeah.
Ekam
So
vakyam
Laguna kandukena.
Ekam vakyam rachayetu.
Okay. Aham Laguna kandukena क्रीडामि.
बाहु उत्तमं। धन्यवादः। उत्तमं।
महोदय एकं प्रश्नः पृच्छामि।
वदतु।
कन्दुकेन is तृतीया napumsakalinga ekavachana.
Samyak.
Okay. So the corresponding should be also in
yes.
Since it is after Dvitiya, either it can be Pullinga or Napumsakalinga on the left side.
Correct.
But Laguna, so it is like Guruna. Okay, I got it.
Does it make sense?
Yes,
why don't we say the Guru Shabdah? Preeti Mahoday bhavati shigrataya Guru Shabdah vadatu. Guru Shabdah.
Guruhu Guru
Ekamsham
Guravaha.
Katham arambam kurmah?
Guru
Ukarantah.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
Ukaranta Pumlingaha Guru Shabdaha. Guruhu Guru Guravaha. He Guru, He Gurava, He Guru, He Guravaha. Gurum, Guru, Gurun, Guruna, Gurubhyam, Gurubhyaha, Gurubihi, Gurave, Gurubhyam, Gurubhyaha, Guroho, Gurubhyam, Gurubhyaha, Guroho, Gurvoho, Gurunam, Gurau, Gurvoho, Gurushu.
Bahu tamam. I keep pulling you up only for all of these things. Just letting you know. I agree.
Only Preeti Mahoday. Only Preeti Mahoday.
No. I'll pull different people up. But first I will start with her. Agree. Rajeshri Mahoday bhavati karati va anantaram Vijaya Mahoday.
Malinani vastrani.
Pratamam tu lingam vachanam.
Malinani napumsakalingam malina shabdah pratama ya dvitiya vibhakti.
Samyak.
And vastrani napumsakalingam pratama or dvitiya bahuvachanam.
Bahu samyak. Idanim ekam vakyam rachyetu. No chet dvayamapi. Ekam tu prathama vibhaktyaam dvitiya vibhaktyaam. Dvayamapi rachyetu.
Malinani vastrani tatra santi.
Samyak.
Malinani vastrani aham prakshalayami.
Bahu tamam. Dhanyavadah. Agre Vijaya Mahodaya bhavan vadatu.
उत्तमस्य स्वप्नस्य
सम्यक् तत्र
उत्तमस्य
लिङ्गं वचनं विभक्ति वदतु
उत्तमस्य इट्स् नपुंसकलिङ्ग
स्वप्नः पुल्लिङ्गः वदतु
पुल्लिङ्ग षष्ठी विभक्ति एकवचनं
बहु सम्यक् एकं वाक्यं
स्वप्नस्य but I don't understand the meaning of the swapnasya.
So a good dream, something belonging to a good dream. Uttamasya swapnasya actually difficult. You know what?
Yeah.
When we were creating it, it was supposed to be Vichitrasya
By mistake.
Balakas. It was supposed to be.
I picked up the wrong one, no?
That's
I should
it.
have taken
स्वप्नस्य स्वप्नं नपुंसकलिङ्गे एव खलु
स्वप्नं नपुंसकलिङ्गं वा?
आम्
Okay.
शक्यते एकवारम् अहमपि एकवारं दृष्ट्वा वदनीयं वा भवती दृष्टवती वा
न भवती
पश्यामि वा
पश्यतु
एकवारं पश्यामि एकम्
आमाम्
and you guys all know how to search up words, learn Sanskrit or actually kosha. Everybody should move to kosha.sanskrit.today and you should learn how to use that.
I can search.
Kosha.sanskrit.today and go let's see what it says. Swapna आपके मध्ये अपि अस्ति पश्यामः स्वप्नः पुल्लिङ्गशब्दः अस्ति
पुल्लिङ्ग वा अस्तु
पुल्लिङ्गशब्दः अस्ति It's easy to make mistakes. I also was confused in that. Swapnah. So now we had actually planned it to be Vichitrasya Swapnasya. It is a different dream. It was easier to make a sentence there. Idanim
अहं वदामि
वदतु वदतु उत्तमस्य स्वप्नस्य वदतु
उत्तमस्य स्वप्नस्य अनन्तरम् अहं सम्यक् निद्रां करोमि
बहु सम्यक्
I caused the confusion, no? I picked up balakasya with.
But it's not wrong. It's not wrong. It's correct only. What's wrong with that? No problem. It's just harder to make a sentence. That's all.
So looks like Preeti Mohodia had a good swapna last night.
I can tell. That's right.
And then I slept again. Did you notice that?
Great. So, Mahodaya, Bhavan, can you, Vijay Mahodaya, pick any of the ones that have gone before and tell me one more sentence, just for the abhyasa.
Which one? Balakasya? No.
Uttamस्य balakasya. वदतु.
मम कक्ष्यां उत्तमस्य बालकस्य अस्ति.
इदानीं चिन्तयतु मम कक्षायाम् इति वक्तुं इच्छति भवान्. अस्ति अस्ति एव क्रियापदम्.
Okay.
How will I question the kriyapadam? What will I ask the kriyapadam? What is the first thing I ask the kriyapadam?
Kriyapadam.
Kaha asti. So what will you give us the answer? Kaha asti? कक्षायां कः अस्ति?
मम कक्ष्यां.
कक्षायाम् इत्युक्ते सप्तमी विभक्ति. So then you say कस्याम् अस्ति will be कक्षायाम् अस्ति. Okay. Now I am asking कः अस्ति? कः? Who is there? How will you respond to that?
You can say Krishna hai.
So Krishna इत्युक्ते कः? बालकः खलु?
Yes.
उत्तमः बालकः अस्ति प्रथमा विभक्ति. इत्युक्ते अस्ति उसे उत्तमः बालकः अस्ति. Now I am saying उत्तमस्य बालकस्य इत्युक्ते तस्य सम्बन्धे in relation to him I want to say a sentence.
Okay.
Belonging to उत्तमस्य बालकस्य वदतु एकवारं.
I think रामस्य बालकस्य उत्तमस्य
बालकस्य उत्तमस्य बालकस्य नाम
ओके रामस्य बालकस्य उत्तमस्य नाम something I can say Krishna has something
कृष्णः परन्तु भवान् इदानीमेव रामस्य इति उक्तवान्.
Sorry?
You said Ramasya. So leave the
Yeah.
Ramasya out. Uttamasya balakasya nama. Okay. I think the confusion is happening because the vibhakti is not understood there. Okay. So here what it's saying is, ekah balakah asti, ekah balakah asti, सः उत्तमः अस्ति, बहु उत्तमः अस्ति, सः मम कक्षायां पठति, तस्य नाम रामः, सः तस्य उत्तमस्य बालकस्य नाम रामः. You start with the prathama vibhakti. एकः बालकः अस्ति, that is the easiest thing to do. अस्ति, कः अस्ति, बालकः अस्ति, we all know that. बालकः अस्ति, then something about him I want to say. बालकस्य उपरि अहं किमपि वक्तुम् इच्छामि. बालकस्य नाम रामः. So that's the simplest sentence you can make it Shashti. What does Shashti Vibhakti mean? In relation to him.
Yes.
Something belonging to him. You can say बालकस्य स्यूतः अपि अस्ति.
Yes.
Something that belongs to him. Okay? Does that make sense?
Yeah. Okay.
We keep practicing. You'll be thorough in it. Don't worry. Very soon. Okay. Who did not get
Mahoday.
a chance?
Mahoday, I can't hear you well. There's a lot of disturbance.
Oh, Kshamyatam. Sarve mute.
I think Vijay Sundaramji, you have to mute.
Yes, my fan, I think. Okay. So,
Yeah.
Dhanyavadah.
Dhanyavad.
Who has not had a chance yet?
I didn't get a chance, Mahodaya.
Vadatu. Manjusha Mahodaya, vadatu. Kshamyatam. Vadatu. Agrimam.
आकर्षकम् अहं चिन्तयामि नपुंसकलिङ्ग प्रथम विभक्ति एकवचनं प्रथमं वा द्वितीयं वा
द्वयमपि सम्यक् इदानीं कान्टेक्स्ट नास्ति सो बोथ विल बी ओके वदतु
आकर्षकं चित्रम्
उत्तमम् आकर्षकं चित्रम् इत्युक्ते किम्
attractive picture,
very good,
beautiful picture.
इदानीं वाक्यद्वयं रचयतु प्रथमविभक्त्यामपि द्वितीयविभक्त्यामपि द्वयं.
भवती किमर्थम् आकर्षकं चित्रं कर्तयति?
उत्तमं तत्र विभक्ति का?
अहं न जानामि.
न जानाति इदानीं चिन्तयतु कर्तयति इति क्रियापदमस्ति. इदानीं प्रश्नं पृच्छतु
किं कर्तयति?
तो तत्र विभक्ति का?
द्वितीया.
बहु सम्यक् द्वितीया विभक्ति. इदानीं प्रथमविभक्त्याम् एकं वाक्यं.
आकर्षकं चित्रं गृहे अस्ति.
बहु सम्यक् बहु उत्तमं. प्रथमविभक्त्यां बहु सुलभम् अस्ति. केवलम् अस्ति नो चेत् भवति इति वक्तुं शक्नुमः खलु. बहु सम्यक् उत्तमम्. अग्रे गच्छामः.
तत्र द्वितीया विभक्ति पदं vayam if we have to understand, we should ask that question to the this one, right, to the verb, isn't it?
For answering anything except for Shashti Vibhakti, you always ask the question to the verb. Shashti Vibhakti is the only thing that is not related to the verb, to the Kriya Padam. Okay. Shashti Vibhakti is always related to the Nama Padam. Okay. Because balakasya syutah, balakasya nama tadrisham bhavati. Parantu anyat sarve bhavanat asti bhitihi. Bhavanat bhiti asti. So that bhavanat is related to the asti. Okay. For balikayai dadami, vriksheshu santi. Parantu there you have to ask the right question. Keshu santi, vriksheshu santi. Kasmat agachami, bhavanat agachami. Kena kridami, kandukena kridami. Kani santi, vastrani santi. Everything else you can ask the question to the Kriya Padam.
Bhagini, one question. So all the Kim Shabda, right? We call it Kim Shabda, all the questions. So for each Vibhakti, whatever is that Kim Shabda, that is the question to be asked to the Kriya Pada for getting the right. Okay.
Yes. So when we do this next exercise, what I'm going to ask you to do is not just fill in the blanks. I'll show you the first one. Then after that, we'll go Rajashri Mahodaya, Madhvi Mahodaya, Hina Mahodaya. Okay. So I'll do the first one, and then you all will follow in the same way. Idanim Pashantu. Balake staha. balake staha, asti, staha, santi. Dvivachanam. Dvivachanam asti. So staha. So balake staha. Kidrishi. So balika asti. Eka, if it's in ekavachanam, the only reason I'm going into all, you don't have to do all this. I want to just go into this because there's usually mistakes that happen with this word. There is balike staha. If it is balike, that means I know the lingam. What is the lingam? Strilinga. So idanim, if I go into ekavachanam, it is kidrishi balika. Kidrishi balika. Now if I want to go into dvivachanam, it is kidrishyau balike. So I'm asking the question, what type? Kidrishaha balakaha, kidrishau balakau, kidrishe balakaha. Okay? Or kidrishi balika, kidrishyau balike, kidrishyah balikaha. Okay, like Nadi Shabdavat in Strilingam. In Pullingam, it is just Rama Shabdavat. Now you will get confused with it. So we will continue. Every single time you're doing it, you'll listen, it'll become okay. So I'm going to ask the question. Balika asti chet kidrishi balika. Balike staha chet kidrishyau balike staha. So this is how you start. Kidrishyau balike staha. Sundaryau balike staha. So you will ask the what type and then you will answer by filling the blank. Okay. Rajashri Mahodaya, can you try the first one? Did I confuse everybody? Can you try the first one? The next one?
Sundaryau balike staha.
Uttamam. Now ask the question to the second one.
Kani vastrani santi.
Kani va. Idanim what type? So kidrishani.
Kidrishani. Kidrishani vastrani santi. Nutanani vastrani santi.
Bahu samyak. So that's what we need to do. Avagatam khalu? I'll help you. Next one. Madhvi Mahodaya bhavati vadatu.
Balakanam parihasaha mastu. It's napumsakalingam.
First go into, we want balakaha. Okay, go into what is the prathama vibhakti form of the word that we want. So we're talking about balakaha. Okay.
Balakaha.
Now tell me how we will say what type of balakaha.
Kidrisha balakaha.
Kidrishaha balakaha. Now we're going to balakanam. So how will you say that? Kidrishaha Rama Shabdavat. This is Shashti Vibhakti Bahuvachanam. So
Kidrisha.
Rhyme. It rhymes.
Shashti Vibhakti, right?
Shashti Vibhakti Bahuvachanam. Ramaha Ramau Ramaha Ramam Ramau Raman Ramayana Ramabhyam Ramaihi Ramaya Ramabhyam Ramebhyah Ramat Ramabhyam Ramebhyah Ramasya Ramayoho Ramanam. So
Kidrishanam.
Samyak. Kidrishanam balakanam parihasaha mastu. Vadatu.
Stulanam balakanam parihasaha mastu.
Bahu samyak. Uttamam. Bahu samyak.
Mahodaya. So it is in Kidrishanam, so it is a natvam there, nakara.
Kidrishanam. No. Why? No. Because that shakara there is not, it is sha. It is not the sha. It is not murdhanya sha. It is
it is a small sha.
Danta sha. Yes. Shankara sha. So because it is Shankara sha, it is not natvam anymore.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Kidrishanam. Hina Mahodaya bhavati vadatu agrimam.
Mahodaya, just one more question I have.
Definitely.
You know how you said like stulaha. So balakanam, we thought, okay, balakaha is pullinga word. So I want to know, does sthula as such word have any gender?
Sthulaha iti padam asti chet tatra visheshanam asti chet. If you look in the dictionary, kosha madhya yada pashyati tatra male female MFN iti agacchati tatra. Because a visheshanam has to be in trilingeshu api santi. So you can have sthulaha. So you can have sthulaha balakaha, sthula balika, sthulam sthulam pustakam.
Okay.
Sthulam mitram.
So this word basically doesn't have any gender, but it takes the gender of whatever word we are trying to say about. Is it like that?
Correct.
Yeah, Visheshyam.
Yes.
Okay.
It follows the gender of the Visheshyam.
But Bhagini, there is still slight variation because these have specific forms of that gender, like Sundari. It will not be Sundara.
Correct. So
Okay.
that is because of Panini. You can blame him. Okay. So the way that a word is formed when you add the pratyayas, we'll go into that next. When you add the pratyayas, the way the word is formed, we are not at the level. I am nowhere near the level of finding out how the verb is formed using those Panini sutras. So right now, we know Sundari. So we will use Sundari. So it is only through Abhyasam that we will know what it is. Sometimes we make mistakes. People will say Sundara Balika. It's okay. You tried it. But after a while, what happens is when you've heard it enough, you'll realize it is not Sundara, it is Sundari. Tadeva asti. Okay.
Okay, Bhagini, just one more question I have was, in the previous exercise, we said Laguna Kandukena.
Correct.
So
there are three forms of Laghu. There is Laghu in Pullinga, Laghvi in Strilinga. I think Preeti Mahodaya is Laghvi and Laghu both are in Strilinga, optional forms. So it can be Laghu or Laghvi in Strilinga. I end up using Laghvi because it's easier for me to remember that it is Strilinga, and Laghu in Napumsakalinga. So in Tritiya Vibhakti, you go by Guru Shabdaha. Or you go by Guru Shabdaha is easy, except in Prathama and Dvitiya in Napumsakalinga, it will be different. It will be Laghu, I don't remember what is the third Bahuvachanam. Is it Laghuni? Laghu, Laghuni, I think is what it is. Laghuni. Okay. I will have to check what is, because I don't know. There, see, it is Ukara and Napumsakalinga.
Like Madhu. Madhu Shabda.
Because Guru will be in Pullinga, right?
So Madhu Shabdavat.
It is in Napumsakalinga. Kandukena. Kandukam is Napumsakalinga.
Correct. But luckily it was Tritiya Vibhakti, so we don't have to worry. It will be equivalent to Guru Shabdaha. It's only Prathama and Dvitiya that we have to worry.
Okay. Okay. Mahodaya, so what is the answer to this third one? Balikanam Parihasaha.
Balakanam. So Balakaha. Tulaha Balakaha asti.
Okay.
Idrishanam Balakanam Parihasaha mastu. Don't make fun of what type of boys? Tulanam Balakanam Parihasaha mastu.
Okay. Then
usually it rhymes. So at this stage when we are not completely sure, just try to rhyme it. Balakanam to Stulanam. Okay? When we understand, when we have good practice with the antas and the vibhaktis with different antas, then you make sure that it is correct. At this stage, if you are not very sure about that, just try to rhyme. You're almost always there.
Thank you. Bhagini, one more question. Instead of asking just the question with K, Kasai or Kasmai and all that, you are using Ki Drisham. What is that you're adding there? Drisham?
So Ki Drishaha, Ki Drishi, Ki Drisham. That is what type. That is to understand the Visheshanam.
Oh, what type?
So Ekaha Balakaha asti, Ki Drishaha Balakaha asti, Sthulaha Balakaha asti.
Okay.
Ki Drishaha Balakaha asti, Uttamaha Balakaha asti. So when I ask what type, then I ask this Ki Drishaha.
But that what type will be for all vibhaktis? It will be Ki Drisha.
No. So there it will be like Rama Shabdavat for Pullinga. So Ki Drishaha, Ki Drishau, Ki Drishe. It is like Sahataute.
And all vibhaktis also it will vary?
Yes, because it is also a Visheshanam.
Achha.
It is also an adjective form.
Okay.
Because why should it be an adjective form? Because suppose Balakaha asti. And I want to ask, Balakaha, I can ask Kaha Balakaha asti. I can ask, can I ask Kim Balakaha asti?
No.
Can't. Because the Kaha also has to follow the Balakaha. Same way, the Ki Drishaha also has to follow the Balakaha. The Prashnavachakam is also, Shabdas are also like Sarvanamas and other Visheshanams. They are also in adjective form.
So that's why we said Kidrushanam Balakanam.
Exactly. That's why we said Kidrushanam Balakanam. Uttamam. Agre Preeti Mahodaya bhavati last time na uktavati. Agnimam vakyam vadat.
Dash balikabhyah pustakani dadatu.
Prathama vibhakti vadatu tatra visheshyasya prathama vibhakti shabdah kaha?
Saha.
Saha balika. Ta balika.
सा बालिका. So
इदानीं
कीदृशाभ्यः.
इदानीं नदी शब्दः वदतु.
कीदृशीभ्यः वा.
नदी शब्दः
बालिकाभ्यः पुस्तकानि ददातु.
तो उत्तरं कीदृशीभ्यः बालिकाभ्यः.
ताभ्यः बालिकाभ्यः पुस्तकानि ददातु.
बहु सम्यक्. ताभ्यः बालिकाभ्यः पुस्तकानि ददातु. Is it too complicated or is everybody understanding? Do we want to...
It is 50-50 and it is
slowly.
Yeah, 50-50 and yeah, slowly.
Okay.
Is balikabhyah, not balikabhyah.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. Tankana doshah tu bahavaha santi. Shamyata.
Okay. So it,
Haraprasad ji has very keen eye to details.
Yes, it's necessary also. Very good. Okay.
Yeah.
So if you are having trouble with the prashnavachaka shabdah, if you're having trouble with kidrishaha, kidrishi, kidrishyau, kidrisham, you can leave it out at this point. We will go over it again. Or just try. And as we do more and more and more, you'll get it. It's up to you. I leave the choice up to you when I call your name. Okay.
And maybe sometime towards the end of the class, if you can just once give this meaning of these questions.
Yes.
Kim Shabda, okay, Rama and all we learned, but this Kim Shabda, we have not, maybe I have not focused much on understanding each of the questions there.
Oh, sure. In fact, we'll come into a different Chittachana Prayogaha where we have to use the Kaha Shabdaha. At that time, we will go into it in detail. Okay. At this point in time, because you know how when I teach, I always say you have to ask the question to the verb and then I respond. In the same way, I want you to know that you can ask a question to the noun and you can get the Visheshanam. So at this point in time, just have that idea. Even if you don't get it absolutely correctly, no problem. Just work with the idea that we can ask a question and you can get the answer. Okay? That's all. But the question words also go in the same vibhakti as the Namapadam here. Tadeva. Agre, so
Shamitam Vagini, so for fourth sentence, it's tad shabdam. Tad is the Visheshana.
Yes. So in Pratama Vibhakti, Balikabhya. What is the word for Balikabhya? Pratama Vibhakti?
Balika.
Balika. So if you want to use tad for Balika, what will you say?
Sa
Balika. Now can you conjugate sa for me? Sa te taha. You want me to do it?
I can.
I will do it.
Do.
Okay. Somebody.
Haraprasad Mahodaya Bhavan vadatu.
Sa te taha. Sorry, go ahead.
Haraprasad Mahodaya vadatu.
I will try. Sa te taha. Tam te taha. Taya tabhyam tebihi. Tabihi. Tasyai tabhyam tabhyah.
That's it. Stop. It is Chaturthi Vibhakti. Tasyai tabhyam tabhyah. So you will use tabhyah balikabhyah pustakani dadatu. Mahodaya, you didn't catch the two visargas there, Mahodaya. I will now, from next time, I will expect you to catch me.
I saw that, but I know.
Tell me next time. So, tabhyah. So, what is it? If you are at this point in time, if you're having trouble, I will ask everybody, get your Pravesha book out, and at the back, you have all the matrices. Keep it next to you. Okay? So, every time you have to go through it, what you do is you make it an exercise. So, tad shabdha. So, you start saying it. Dakarantaha, strilingaha, tad shabdaha, sa te taha, tam te taha, taya tabhyam tabhihi, tasmai tabhyam, tasyai tabhyam tabhyah. You start saying it. Every single time if you say it, you'll be thorough by the time you're done. Okay? Next one, let's go. Who's next? Vijay Mahodaya Bhavan karoti va.
Okay. Mata dash shakaihi pakam karoti. Okay. Now, shakaihi.
Which vibhakti?
Mata, Shakaihi. So it is.
So think, is it going to be like Rama Shabdaha, or is it Rama Shabdaha, or is it like Phalam Shabdaha? Which one can you see?
It looks like Rama Shabda one.
Correct.
Though when I saw Mata, I got thinking it must be a striling, but it has got nothing to do with that, I think.
No.
So it is then Ramaihi. So it will be Tritiya Bahuvachana.
Correct. Actually, it is Shakam is, I think it's Napumsakalinga, but it's
Napumsakalingam.
Huh?
Napumsakalingam.
So Shakahi.
Dvau api asti mahoday.
Dvau api saha.
Dvau samyak.
So it doesn't matter. Okay. But it doesn't matter anyway.
So Tritiya Bahuvachana, that we understood. Now we have to ask a question to this to find out what is the Visheshan.
And the hint is for Pullinga or Napumsakalinga, Kidrisha Shabdaha will rhyme most of the times with the Visheshya Shabdaha. So it is Shakaihi. So how will the Kidrisha Shabdaha come? Kidre?
Tasmaihi. No, not Tasmaihi.
Kidre?
Kidrishaihi.
That's it.
So Kidrishaihi Shakaihi.
Kidrishaihi Shakaihi.
Uttamai Shakaihi.
Uttamaihi Shakaihi. Uttamaihi Shakaihi. Now this seems very strange, no? Right now we're not, it's not making sense. You're just trying to make these words and they seem like they're hanging in midair. So what we have to understand now is, you can break down these sentences also. Mata uttamaihi shakaihi pakam karoti. Idani mata pakam karoti is a simple sentence. Mata karoti, mata pakam karoti. Mata shakaihi pakam karoti. It means, what does that mean? Mata shakaihi pakam karoti.
She's cooking the vegetables.
She's using shakam upayujya. Shakan upayujya.
Yeah. She's cooking using vegetables, service vegetables.
That's right, Tritiya. Shakanam dwara. She's using through the veggies. You know what I mean? She's using the vegetables. So, Mata shakaihi pakam karoti. Parantu nichaihi shakaihi upayujya na pakam karoti. Sa uttamaihi shakaihi pakam karoti.
Good vegetables.
That's all. Make sense?
Okay. So she's cooking with good vegetables.
Correct. It is the instrument. Here it is the dwara. Using this, she's making food. Pakam karoti. Agre kaha karoti. Haraprasad Mahoday Bhavan agreement karoti.
Convert into English, it becomes problem a little bit. No?
Yes, don't. See how I did it? You use the Kartra. Always, when you're trying to understand a sentence, use the Kartra Padam and the Kriya Padam. Mata karoti. Okay. Then add your Dvitiya Vibhakti. Mata pakam karoti. Then add the next Vibhakti, Titiya Vibhakti. Mata shakaihi pakam karoti. So far we are understanding. Now we add Mata uttamaihi shakaihi pakam karoti. And you understand it. You don't even need to translate. I hope. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yes. It does.
Okay. Haraprasad Mahoday Bhavan agreement karoti.
Panchami. Balika dash Lekhanya likati. Balika likati. Balika kena likati. Balika lekhan. No, not kena. Kaya.
Samyak.
Balika kaya likati. Balika lekhanya likati.
Samyak.
Balika kidrisham likati.
Kidrish.
No, kidrishya. No, kidrishya.
Samyak.
Kidrishya likati. Balika lekhanya samichina lekhanya likati.
You have almost got it. You did a beautiful job. Balika kidrishya lekhanya likati. Idanim, can you tell me the lekhanya shabda? Can you tell me Prathama Vibhakti what it is?
Yeah. Lekhani is like nadi. Lekhani, lekhanyo, lekhanyaha.
That's fine. So lekhani. Yeah, it's in ekavachanam anyway. So lekhani asti. Kidrishi lekhani asti.
Kidrishi means what type? Sami Kidrishi Samichini.
Will it be Samichini? Does it sound right?
No, Samichina.
Samichina. Can you tell me? Can you tell me Rama Shabdaha? We want to get to Tritiya Vibhakti. Rama Shabdaha. Tell me Rama Shabdaha.
Okay. I'll start from the beginning.
Yes. Rama, Rame.
Oh, Rama. Okay, like Ganga. Rama, Rame, Ramaha. He Rame, He Rame, He Ramaha. Ramam, Rame, Ramaha. Ramaya.
Stop. Tell me
Okay,
Samichina.
Ramaya.
So
Ramaya. So
Sami.
Samichi Ramaya. Ramaya. Samicha. No.
Samichina.
Samichinaya.
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 If it is Nadi, then it will become if it is Samichini, then it will become Samichinya. But right now it is Samichina. So
okay, because it's like Ganga.
Okay. So it will become that na has to be full. So Samichinaya Lekhanya.
Okay.
Tell me the full sentence.
Balika Samichinanya Samichinanya.
Punah vadatu.
Samichinaya. Samichinaya. Okay. Balika Samichinaya. Lekhanya Likhati.
So how do you make sure you do it right? You say Rama Ramaya. Rama Ramaya. So Samichina Samichinaya.
Okay.
Okay, that's all.
Okay.
Does it make sense?
Yes, it does.
So it's very important to understand the
Antas, which we'll go into next. Yes.
Majority will follow that Sita, Rama, and all. Some are there
which are different.
Yeah, just because it's Lekhani, it won't be Samichini, right?
That's right.
We need to understand that. I think that is the tricky part.
That is the most difficult part. Most difficult part. Correct. Okay. Next.
So only thing is, Mahodaya. So
shall I try, Mahodaya?
No, I have got a question. I have got a question, please. Lekhanya is Strilinga, Tritiya Vibhakti Ekavachana.
Correct.
Now, so even though that is Lekhani, it is ending in Ikaranta, Samichina, even is it Samichina?
Yes.
Which is ending in Akaranta.
Yes.
Since both are Strilinga, that's okay.
Yes. It is not the Anta that has to match. It is the Linga that has to match.
Okay.
Lingam Vachanam Vibhakti, not Anta.
Okay.
Okay.
That is difficult. Yeah. I mean,
I think it's important to know that Visheshan will have all three lingas in. Means it will be in all three lingas.
Correct. But the Anta will be different in the different lingas.
Yeah, but it is there in all three lingas.
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So if it had been some Pulinga, it would have been Samichinaha.
Yes, correct. Samichinaha Putraha.
Okay.
Samichinaha Putraha. Balika Samichinena Putrena Saha Gacchati.
Okay.
Okay. Next one. Vijay, I'll ask Rajashri Mahodaya Bhavati Karotu. It's a difficult one.
You told me to do, Mahodaya.
Can I ask Rajashri Mahodaya to do this? I'll come back to you.
Dash Bhavane Dhanapatihi Vasati.
Uttamam. Idanim Visheshyam Kim?
Visheshyam Dhanapatihi.
Dhanapatihi api samyak. Parantu idanim we want to describe the bhavanam. Okay.
But Visheshyam is Dhanapati, right? Because
Dhanapati is Kartrupadam. Dhanapati is
Kartrupadam. Yeah, Kartrupadam.
I want to know what type of bhavanam. So here the Visheshyam that I care about is the bhavanam.
Bhavanam. Okay.
Okay. Now ask the question.
कीदृशे भवने
सम्यक्
धनपतिः वसति
कीदृशं भवनं तो कीदृशे भवने इदानीं you have your pravesha book or do you know the brihat shabdah
mahati mahati
very good
brihati bhavane dhanapatiः vasati
very good takarantah napumsakalingah brihat shabdah Tatra we'll go over it now. We are taking our own sweet time, but you know what? We are understanding it, so it's fine. So brihat in Saptami Vibhakti will brihati. In fact, in almost all in Napumsakalinga and in Pullinga, in Saptami Vibhakti Ekavachanam, it will be brihati, mahati, dhanapati, viravati, all hrasva ikaranta. In Saptami Vibhakti, it will always come like that. It will be like bhavati also, bhavan shabdah, bhavat shabdah, bhavati, Saptami Vibhakti Ekavachana, bhavati. Okay, we'll do it. We'll do more and more practice of it. Okay, Agrimam Kripaya Priti Mahodaya Karotu. Anantaram, I had asked who had to do the next, who am I missed? Madhvi Mahodaya I had missed, no?
Yeah, and I think Gayatri Mahodaya was waiting to.
Gayatri Mahodaya, you'll do the 9th line, okay? Preeti Mahodaya, can you do 8th one for me?
Yuvakau staha Veeravat.
Atra lingam prathama vibhaktyaam vadatu ekavachanam. It's already prathama.
Pumlinga. Pumlinga dvivachanam.
So what is it in Pumlinga ekavachanam? Can you tell me?
Yuvakaha.
So can you tell me कीदृशः युवकः
वीरवन्तौ युवकौ वा
सम्यक् वीरवन्तौ युवकौ but can you tell me what it is in ekavachanam
भवान् शब्दवत् वीरवान् युवकः
very good वीरवान् युवकः तो भवान् भवन्तौ भवन्तः तो वीरवन्तौ सम्यक् did we ask the question कीदृश
no we didn't
ask
कीदृशौ युवकौ स्तः वीरवन्तौ युवकौ स्तः
very good veeravantau yuvakau staha. Those two are a little bit complicated because they are takaranta shabdahas. We have mostly worked with endings which are in a, e, u, all of those. These are ending in a consonant takaraha. That is where it gets a little bit more complicated, but it's a matter of memorizing and looking at the table. That's all it is. So at this point in time, what I would recommend you guys to do, keep your Pravesha book open next to you. Go to there is one Dhimat Shabdah, I think, or Bhavat Shabdah. Open to that page. It is there. Find the correct Vibhakti of the Visheshyam. Find the same Vibhakti in your Takaranta Shabdah. And you are done. That's all it is. You do more and more sentences like that, you will be pakka in it. Okay. Next, Gayatri Mahodaya Bhavati Karoti Va?
We need the Pravesha book also.
Pravesha book is a treasure. You never leave it. Even I don't leave it. Okay. Gayatri Mahodaya Bhavati.
Dash vrikshe amrani santi. Kidrishe vrikshe amrani santi.
Bahu samyak.
Unnate vrikshe amrani santi.
Bahu samyak. Does everybody understand that sentence? Anybody have a question on that sentence? Santi, Rani Santi, Amrani Santi, Vrikshe Amrani Santi, Tatra Unnate Vrikshe Amrani Santi. Okay? If you understand that sentence, you are very good with your Visheshya Visheshana Bhavaha. After that, all these Akaranta, Ikaranta, Takaranta, all that is just complications in the same thing. Okay? Make sure you can understand the basics. We'll go up from there. Okay. Next one, Kasyaha Paryayaha. Who has not done? Vijaya Mahodaya Bhavan Kritavan va? Kritavan. Idanim Manjusha Mahodaya Bhavati Kritavati va? Atra?
एतत् अभ्यासं न कृतवती।
करोतु।
कृतवती।
हा।
वस्त्रस्य मूल्यं किम्? तत्र वस्त्रं नपुंसकलिङ्ग एकवचनं, वस्त्रस्य षष्ठी विभक्ति, कीदृशस्य वस्त्रस्य मूल्यं किम्? एतस्य वस्त्रस्य मूल्यं किम्?
बहु उत्तमम्. Very, very good. Everybody understood that? Okay, very good. What you'll find is, if we do the harder abhyasas, the easier abhyasas become easy. I always find that. So I always aim to try to get to the harder ones, so that by the time you finish understanding the harder ones, the easy ones are very simple. Okay, we'll continue.
Then sometimes still the easier ones we are doing it wrong.
Chamita?
No, sometimes when we have done the harder ones and easier ones come, the easier ones we feel we are doing something wrong.
Because it's so easy.
Because they're so too easy.
That's right. Agre. Hina Mahodaya bhavati karotu. Agre, ma'am.
Mata dandam svikaroti.
Svikaroti.
Svikaroti. Dirgha. Dandam. Dandaha is the pulling shabda.
Samyak. So,
dandam is the dvitiya vibhakti.
Kidrishah dandaha.
Kidrisham dirgham dandam svikaroti.
Samyak. So if I had asked you in Pratama Vibhakti, you answer in Pratama Vibhakti. Kidrishah dandaha, dirghaha dandaha.
Dirghaha dandaha.
Idanim, Mata kidrisham dandam svikaroti. Mata?
Dirgham dandam svikaroti.
Svikaroti. Samyak. Can you do what Haraprasad Mahodaya had done? Can you, so that everybody can understand the sentence. Start with the Kartrupadam and Kriyapadam. And start making it complicated.
Okay.
Mata?
Mata dirgham dandam svikaroti.
So Mata svikaroti.
Mata svikaroti.
Mata kim svikaroti?
Kim svikaroti. Mata dandam svikaroti. Mata kidrisham dandam svikaroti. Dirgham dandam svikaroti.
Samyak. Uttamam. Sarve avagatamantah kalu? Madhvi Mahodaya bhavati agrimam karotu.
वृक्षे बहवः खगाः सन्ति. वृक्षे पुंलिङ्गः सप्तमी विभक्ति एकवचनम्. उन्नते वृक्षे बहवः खगाः सन्ति.
सम्यक्. इदानीं प्रथमं तु पदद्वयम् उपयुज्य अनन्तरं can you complicate the sentence for me?
खगाः सन्ति. कानि खगाः सन्ति?
कानि वा?
कति खगाः सन्ति? क्षम्यतां. बहवः खगाः सन्ति. केन खगाः सन्ति?
केन वा? केन is तृतीया. इदानीं you said सप्तमी.
सप्तमी.
तस्मिन्.
तस्मिन्
खगाः सन्ति. वृक्षे खगाः सन्ति. कीदृशे खगाः वृक्षे खगाः सन्ति. उन्नते वृक्षे खगाः सन्ति.
बहु सम्यक्. उत्तमम्. अग्रे who has not had a turn so far? Have I missed anybody? Vijay Mahodaya भवान् करोति वा? अग्रिमम्.
Shashti has a special liking. Okay, dash.
Do you want to do another one?
No, it's okay.
Okay. Vadat.
Easy.
Yeah, let me
dash. Okay. Yeah,
Vijay Mahodaya karoti. Agrimam tu next you will do Vijay Mahodaya. Vijay Mahodaya bhavan karoti.
Yeah. Me, yeah?
Okay.
Balakasya pita atra asti. Shrestha balakasya pita atra asti.
You've gone ahead. You've done samasta padam. Okay. Now think about this. I'm going to ask the question. You answer. Okay. Asti iti kriya padam asti. First. Kaha asti?
Atra.
Atra iti? Kaha asti?
श्रेष्ठ बालकः
श्रेष्ठबालकः अस्ति वा नो चेत् पिता अस्ति वा?
पिता पिता पिता
पिता अस्ति। उत्तमं। पिता अस्ति। कस्य पिता अस्ति?
श्रेष्ठबालकस्य पिता अस्ति।
बालकस्य पिता अस्ति। बालकस्य पिता अस्ति। कीदृशस्य बालकस्य पिता अस्ति?
ओके, श्रेष्ठस्य बालकस्य पिता अस्ति।
सम्यक्। श्रेष्ठस्य बालकस्य पिता अत्र अस्ति। बहु सम्यक्। अवगतं वा?
Yes.
How to do it?
Yeah.
Write it down so that Shrestha also has to rhyme with the balaka.
Yes.
Balaka. Shrestha balakah asti. Shreshthasya balakasya pita atra asti. But what you said was not wrong. If you make it into one word, there is something called samasa in Sanskrit. Samasa is when you mix the two words and you use only the pratipadika. Don't get confused, but what they do is they make it Shrestha balakah. Shrestha balakasya. So they do that also, but we are not at that level yet, so we can do it correctly. So don't do it. Use Shreshthasya balakah. Then use separate words and make sure the vibhaktis are the same. Very good. Uttamam. Vijay Mahoday, Bhavan agreement karoti va? It's a little bit hard. I can do it though.
Okay. Two blanks are there. Okay.
Yes.
Shishuhu dash nadyaha dash jale snanam karoti.
Okay. Now take the Kriya Padam and ask questions to the Kriya Padam first.
Okay. Kah
karoti?
Kah karoti shishuhu.
Samyak.
Karoti snanam karoti.
Samyak.
Now jale. Okay. Jale saptami.
Kutra is also okay.
Kutra okay.
Kutra sthanam
nadyaha.
Nadyaha sthanam karoti va?
No, okay.
What is in saptami? You said it correctly before.
Jale.
Jale sthanam karoti. Idanim use kidrishaha and ask the question to jalam. Kidrisham jalam asti.
Kidrisham jalam asti. Kidrisham jalam asti. Nirmalam jalam asti.
Idanim कीदृशे जले स्नानं करोति?
निर्मले जले स्नानं करोति.
बहु सम्यक्. Now adding on.
Now नद्याः. Okay.
कस्याः निर्मले जले स्नानं करोति?
नद्याः
निर्मले जले स्नानं करोति. Now कीदृशी नदी अस्ति? If you forget Mahat for now, take it as Uttama. Uttama. We will go to Mahat also. You will do Mahat also, but take Uttama. So कीदृशी नदी अस्ति?
Uttama Strilinga is Uttama, right?
Samyak.
So Nadyaha.
First answer my Prathama question.
Okay.
कीदृशी नदी अस्ति?
कीदृशी नदी अस्ति? उत्तमा नदी अस्ति.
सम्यक्. उत्तमा नदी अस्ति. Now Rama Shabdah. Nadyaha is what vibhakti? Kasyaha.
Yaha is Panchami.
Can be Panchami, but right now what are we doing? We are saying Nadyaha Jale. Nadyaha Jalam. So what is that? Relationship. Sambandha asti.
Shashti also, correct.
Shashti. So Nadyaha. So Kidrishyaha Nadyaha. Now use Uttama. Rama Shabdavat. Rama. Say Rama. Say the Rama Shabdaha. Rama Rame Ramaha.
So Uttamayaha.
Samyak. Uttamayaha.
Uttamayaha.
Okay. Now for Mahad in Strilinga it becomes Mahati. Like Nadi. It's actually easier. Nadi Shabdavat. So if I said Mahati Nadi asti, Kidrishyaha Nadyaha Jalam asti.
Mahatyaha Nadyaha.
Samyak. Can you tell me the full sentence?
Shishuhu Mahatyaha Nadyaha Nirmale jale snanam karoti.
Bahu uttamam. Very well done. Beautiful. Agree.
We have to remember that mahat also now. That is new.
Yes. New shabdaha. New shabdaha. Which I should go into, but we will see if we have time. No problem. We'll do it next time. Agre. Kaha na kritavan, ka na kritavati. Please raise your hand who has not done. Or unmute and say the next one, please. Someone. Next one, shall I get Preeti Mahodaya Bhavati na kritavati khalu? Anantaram Rajashri Mahodaya api krito.
aham na kritavati.
Etasmin slide madhye na kritavati.
Akashe dash nakshatrani santi. Santi. Kani santi nakshatrani santi. Kutra santi akashe nakshatrani santi.
Samyak.
इदानीं कीदृशानि नक्षत्राणि सन्ति आकाशे अनेकानि नक्षत्राणि आकाशे आकाशे अनेकानि नक्षत्राणि सन्ति.
Is it wrong to say anekani nakshatrani akashe santi?
No.
Vayamapi bahu uttamam. Agre Rajashri Mahodaya bhavati api karotu.
Mahoday, ek nimisham. Now, you said, what is the last thing you said? The second type? She, Preeti said,
not wrong to say, anekani nakshatrani akashe santi. Tadapi samyak.
Correct.
In fact, I can even say, anekani akashe nakshatrani santi. Even that is correct. Why? Because I know anekani is pointing to nakshatrani. Beauty of Sanskrit.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah, right. Yeah, nakshatrani goes with santi because the santi is the plural. Nakshatrani.
Yes.
So you are interchanging akasha and aneka.
It doesn't matter. Yes.
Yeah.
Because akashe is telling me kutra. But that anekani is pointing to nakshatrani and saying kidrishani nakshatrani, anekani nakshatrani.
But if you put a sentence like that and put the dash somewhere else, then we might get confused.
Yeah, that's why we won't do that. Because this is an exercise.
That's why I realized that I changed the order. So that's why I wanted to put it back so that already there's confusion, more confusion.
Can I ask for quick feedback? Is it too confusing? Was it too confusing today? Or
No,
you guys feel
now it's getting clear. It's getting clear.
Okay, good. Okay.
So it's all, we can also say akashe nakshatrani anekani santi.
Definitely. That is also correct.
Right?
That is also correct. Yes, absolutely. Okay. Next, who have I missed? Who did I say? Rajashri Mahodaya, bhavati karoti.
Dash balikaah gayanti. Balikaah gayanti. Kidrishyah balikaah gayanti.
Uttamam.
Sundaryah balikaah gayanti.
Very, very good. See, you changed your anta right there. Very quickly you changed it and you made it correct. Kidrishi balika. Kidrishi balika to kidrishyah balikaah. Kidrishyah balikaah. Kidrishi balika sundari balika. Kidrishi balika sundari balika. Kidrishyah balikaah sundaryah balikaah. Very, very good. Uttamam. Agre kahana kritavan, kana karoti, kana kritavati. Please unmute and talk. Next, who wants to do?
Aham karomi va bhagini. Dash chatreshu eshah jyeshtah. Eteshu.
Is there a kriya padam here?
I think it's there, but it is not written.
Adhyahara asti. So what would the adhyahara kriya padam be here?
Asti.
Asti. Now ask the question. Kaha asti?
Kaha asti? Eshah jyeshtah.
Eshah asti. Kidrishah eshah?
Jyeshtah.
Jyeshtah eshah. That jyeshtah is the visheshanam for eshah.
Eshah.
Jyeshtah eshah. Next what the question will be? Keshu
jyeshtah. Chatreshu jyeshtah.
Chatreshu jyeshtah asti. Idani. Ask the question.
Keshu Chatreshu.
Kidrisheshu.
Kidrisheshu Chatreshu.
You want to-
Eteshu Chatreshu.
Samyak. So Sampurna Vakyam vadatu.
Eteshu Chatreshu Eshah Jeshtah.
Samyak.
Asti.
Ekeshu Chhatreshu Eshah Jeshtah Asti. Bahu samyak.
So, Bhagini, the Kidrisha question was Kidrisheshu.
Yes.
Okay.
Kidrisheshu. Just like Ramaha, Rameshu. So Kidrisha. So actually, let me quickly, because we are running out of time, I want to show you this thing before we go, because this will help you. So Idanim Vayam Janimaha. We go back to the Abhyasas next lesson. We'll take our time, no problem. No deadline. So Vakyam, Padam, Aksharam. Vayam Janimaha. I had already gone through what is Vakyam, what is Padam, what is Aksharam. Vakyam ityukte Padanam Samuhaha. Padam ityukte Aksharanam Samuha. Letters, when they join together, we make Padams. Okay? Padam to Dvividam. Nama Padam, Kriya Padam. Verb, noun. Now we have to know, when we talk about Nama Padam and Kriya Padam, when we talk about a Padam itself, when we talk about a Padam, what is inside a Padam is what we have to know. What do we do when we do all these various actions on this Padam? We get all the Vibhakti forms. Right? So we have to know what this Padam is. In order to be able to work with it, we have to know what a Padam is. So, Padam ityukte, tatra ekah prakritihi asti. Ekah moola amshah asti. Prakritihi nama. Prakritihi tatra, it can be Rama, it can be Bhu. All of those are Prakriti. Prakritihi ekah asti. Tasya anantaram yojayamaha pratyayaha. Pratyayam iti ekah bhagaha yojayam. So we add the pratyayaha to the Prakritihi, and that becomes your Padam. And that Padam is what we can work with. So we have the Prakritihi, we have the Pratyayaha. Pratyayaha is what? Suffix. Pratyayaha yada yojayamaha tatsamyam Padam bhavati. So tatra Namapadam asti. Namapadam madhye Prakritihi now is called Pratipadikam. Pratipadikam. You don't have to know it. It is good to know these things so that when we later we go into Vyakaranam text, we know what it's dealing with. But for this point in time, just have a parichayam of it. Pratipadikam iti prakritihi asti namapadi. Pratipadikam sup pratyayaha. What is sup pratyayaha? Sup tas jhis tadrisham agachati. When we add the su, how does Rama plus su becomes Ramaha? Don't ask. We don't want to know right now. Too much it will become. But Rama, how it happened in Ashtadhyayi, he has these pratyayaha. He has all these rules about these pratyayas. He says, when you add su to Rama, there are these multiple transformations that happen, and Rama plus su becomes Ramaha. Then you have Ramaha plus jis becomes Ramaha. So those supratyayas are those 21 pratyayas that are there at the end that we add on to that Pratipadikam, which is Rama or Sita or whatever, to form all these Vibhakti forms. That we call, because it is sup at the end, ante sup iti agachati, sup antam subantam. Sup antam subantam namapadam. You can use both names for nouns. Subantam or namapadam. The reason it's called subantam because sup, it comes in the end, subantam. So now,
okay, for Ram, it is clear. Ram plus whatever su, it becomes Ramaha. For Sita, we don't add anything. Is it?
You add Sita plus su. For some reason, it disappears and becomes just Sita. There are rules. Don't ask what the rules are. I don't know.
Okay, no problem.
So,
that's fine.
But the way it is Rama plus su becomes Ramaha. There are about 9 different transformations it goes through before it ends up at Ramaha. Same. Rama plus Jau becomes Ramau. Rama plus Sup, in the end, the Saptami Bahuvachanam becomes Rameshu. So the first one starts with Su, the last one ends with P. Can you see? So he makes it brackets and he says Su plus P, Sup. It includes all those 21 Vibhaktis and it's called Sup Pratyaha. There. Okay? You don't have to know. If you want to know, it is there. Tadeva. Sa tadrishameva kriyapadeshu kim bhavati prakritihi pratyaha padam samanyam. Parantu kriyapade prakritihi dhatuhu iti nama svikaroti. Dhatuhu plus, now we use tingantam. Why? Tiptas jis. And it ends with nga in the end. You don't have to know. but it is called tingantam because these ting pratyayas are added and they are called tingantam. Tingantam, tingantau, tingantani. So tingantani are kriyapadani. Ekam kriyapadam, ekam tingantam. Okay. In the end, the rules are all the same. Okay. So kriyapadam, if you have pat. Now, when you have pat, when you have these dhatus, there is something special called vikarana pratyaya. We'll come to that later for the different ganas. There are 10 ganas, bhadi gana, all that when you see in Ashtadhyayi. So that middle one, that a, is a vikarana pratyaya. We'll talk about that later if we have time. So pat plus a plus tip will become pathati. Pat plus a plus tas.
For both Atmanepadi and Parasmaipadi, both?
Yes. There are 9 plus 9, 18 forms in ting.
Okay.
Okay. So those are all added in. So, but only for Parasmaipadi, you only add the Parasmaipadi ends. For Atmanepadi, you only add the Atmanepadi ends. That's all. Okay. Don't worry. Right now, all you need to know is that in a padam, there are two parts. One is the suffix, one is the moola part. Okay. And when you add them together, you get your usable forms. Those usable forms, then we can have a lingam, vachanam, vibhakti in namapadam. There is one more thing. You can have an anta also. And in kriya padam, you have lakara, purusha, vachanam. Okay. And when we do our abhyasas, we have to use which anta it is and we have to go into it. Now, I don't want to go into, we are at the ending time. I don't want to go into the ajanta and halanta shabdas. Okay. But what we'll do next time, we'll go into the different, what is an ajanta, what is a shabda which ends in a, I, all the swaras. What happens with a shabda which ends in a halant shabda? What happens when it ends in a consonant? If it ends in k, if it ends in t, what happens? The forms slightly vary. All you have to do is open your Pravesha book, go to the matrix, use that. Okay. There's nothing to actually for me to teach, but I want to show it to you so that you have an idea of what it is. That's all. In the end, the vibhakti forms are all there in the Pravesha book. We don't know how to form them. We have to look at the matrix and use them. That's all it is. Okay. But we have to know for different antas, the different vibhaktis are there, and we have to look at it and we have to use them correctly. That's all. Okay. So today mainly.
May I ask?
Yes.
Jose, can I ask you to go to the previous screen, please, for a minute?
Which one? This one?
The one behind. You added an A in the middle.
Yes, yes, definitely. Here. Yes.
Yeah. Why did you?
Vadatu?
Why did you add that?
This one?
Yeah. So, patati is pat plus a plus tip. And I don't understand this formula.
Okay. So I'll tell you, and you still won't understand it, but I'll tell you. Okay. So what is happening here is, there is pat iti ekah dhatuhu asti. When you go into Panini's Ashtadhyayi, he says, in order to get a Kriya Padam, you have to see what Gana it is in. Okay. So when you go into your, suppose you go into your ashtadhyayi.com, right? And I go into pat. I go and check my pat. So I go to Dhatu Pataha and I go into pat. Okay. And you look at it, at the top, there will be something, this thing. Okay. This patham over there on top is actually what the original dhatu was in Ashtadhyayi's Ganapatha, in Dhatu Patha. For us, Laukika, in our regular use, our dhatu that we use is pat. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, there is also another thing, this bhadihi. Can you see this? Bhadihi. There are 10 ganas. There is bhadi, there is rudhadi, there is juhotyadi. There are 10 different ganas. Now, are we at the level where we're going into that? No. But when we get to it, we should know there are 10 different ganas. Each of those ganas are what Panini has done. How did Panini get into all of these dhatus? He went around all the different in Bharatavarshaha. He saw all the different words that were being used and he found the different roots. He found that in a specific, some 1,000 words were there, which actually when he declined them, when he found the different versions like patati, patataha, patanti, they all declined in the same way. So he put them into this one group and he called them Vadigana.
Okay.
Now in Vadigana, what happens? The reason Vadigana is because there is this one Vikarana Pratyaya which comes in the middle, this A. Why is it called Vikarana? I don't know. But he called it Vikarana Pratyaya. He says, after the dhatu, when you are making a Kriya Padam, there will be a Vikarana Pratyaya. In Vadigana, it is called Shap. The Sha and the Pa die. They go away. A is left. So Pat plus A, because of low. Sorry, who is?
Hina Mahodaya.
Oh, sorry, not. Who is it? Shamita.
You can mute.
No problem. Okay. So this Pat, then we add this Vikarana Pratyaya. It becomes Pat A. So it becomes Patha. Then you add Tip and it becomes Pathati. That is the simplest explanation I can give you right now. For Vadigana, you add A. For the next Gana, you add, it becomes Asti. There is the Vikarana Pratyaya actually disappears. As plus Ti. For the third Gana, what happens? Dadati, Da, Datu. It becomes Dvitvam, Da. And you add the Ti. So each different Gana behaves differently. Bibheti is in third Gana. So it becomes Dvitvam. There is no Vikarana Pratyaya and it adds the Ti. Okay. In Karoti, what happens? That Kr becomes Kar for some reason and adds an O. So there's a Shu iti dhatu, Shuhu iti asti. So it Karoti iti agachati. But each Gana, there are 10 Ganas. He took these over almost 4,000 dhatus and he made only 10 Ganas. And he found patterns. That is the most amazing thing about him. Okay. But we will go into this at a later point in time. Probably not. It is not even up to Kovida. Okay. But there is something called Paniniya Vyakaranam where we can do it later.
Okay. This Vikarana Pratyaya you said, like A. So that differs for
based on the Gana.
each Gana.
Yes.
Okay, I see. Go.
Yes.
That's what I just wanted to get a outline of it. Thank you very much.
No problem at all. It's completely off topic, but it doesn't matter. Learning anyway.
Okay.
So today we just did Abhyasa on Visheshya Visheshana Bhava. We understood this idea about how to use this Kidrisha Shabdaha, right? But we will go more in detail on it later. And we also understood how to use different antas, right? When the Visheshanam is in a different anta, how to make it. So mainly today was Abhyasa. Does everybody feel a little bit more comfortable with Visheshya Visheshana Bhava? Okay. So next time when we come, we'll go a little bit more in detail on Visheshya Visheshana Bhava. Okay? We'll probably add number words in it. So we'll move on to that. Anybody has any questions? Kimapi prashna asti? Kopi prashna asti va? Adya.
Mahodaya. In one of the slides, Bhavati Veeravat Likitavati.
Yes.
That follows which one? Is it Dhimat Shabda or?
Correct.
Dhimat. So then Yuvakau Staha will become Veeravatau.
Veeravantau. Dhiman, Dhimantau, Dhimantaha. Veeravan, Veeravantau, Veeravantaha. So Veeravan.
Like Bhagwan and Bhavat.
Yes. Bhagavan, Bhagavan, Bhagavantau, Bhagavantaha.
Astu.
Pravesha pustake asti.
Asti.
You can look at
it.
After this, it's all a question of looking up the right word and using it correctly. That's mainly what it is. Okay? Idanim samapayamaha. Vijay Mahoday Bhavan vadati va Shanti Mantram?
He is not there. Aham karomi.
Yeah.
Om sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayaha, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschit dukkha bhag bhavet. Om shanti shanti shanti. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Dhanyavadah.
Dhanyavadah.
Agrima Kakshayam Hina Mahoday Bhavati Prarthana Shlokam Vadati. Punarmilamah.
Dhanyavadah.